the first like buzz of the red flag siren or whatever was like, he was like, you know what, you remind me of my mom. And I was like, oh, is that good or bad? He goes, oh, it's really good. And I was like, oh.
Yes.
I was like, is it good for me though? I don't know that
It's really good for him.
I don't need all this shit. And then he does, and he shoves his tongue down my mouth. I was like, ah. And I was like, whoa, okay. And he's ordering drinks or whatever. We have like one or two there. Then we move on. And while we're moving on, he's like, won't let go of my hand. And he seems like hammered already. And I'm like, what the fuck? He tells me he was hanging out with his friends earlier. I was like, oh, so maybe he is hammered already. And then like, he's holding death, like grasping death grip on my hand while we walk down the street. We get to the next bar and it's just like this like dumb, you know, sort of like college-y sports bar. And he ordered a gin and tonic right off. Then he took 2 sips and didn't like it. So he ordered a beer. And at this point, I'm just like sitting there because now he's just rattling on and on. He keeps going to the bathroom. And I'm like, maybe he's doing blow in the bathroom. Like, I don't even know at this point. This motherfucker. At one point, he goes, so tell me about your German heritage. And I was like, what German heritage? He goes, you're German, right? And I was like, I'm like an 8th German, and I barely know anything about it.
Because you have like, blonde hair?
I was like, I'm from Michigan. And he's going on, and he's talking about when he lived in Colombia and how he worked at the banks, and it was like fucking coke all the time, and like, you know. And then I start zoning out while he's talking because I don't care anymore. And he just keeps ordering drinks, so I keep drinking. And then all of a sudden he goes, yeah, I don't know, I just really liked Hitler. And I was like, what? I was listening again at that point.
Everything comes down to Hitler.
Yeah. I was like, that's cool. I don't think I'm ready for this conversation though, and I like don't know you at all.
You didn't ask him a whole bunch of Hitler questions?
I started to. He said that he had a lot of really great ideas. And I was like, okay. Sure. And then I can't remember what I said. I was like, but what about like the Holocaust? And he was like, oh, that was all Hollywood.
Right.
And then he didn't want a tip when he got the check because the check was too expensive because he kept ordering drinks.
Right. Hitler didn't tip. We all know that.
And at the end of it, he rode part of my train ride home with me until I jumped off the train, but he like pulled me through the turnstile because I ran out of money. And I was like, oh, it's okay, go ahead, I have to. And he's like, no. And he like pulled me through. And I had a huge bruise on my thigh, like, and he was like all over me thinking like, I don't know, thinking he was like coming home with me. And I got off, like transferred. I was like, okay, bye. And I just jumped off the train where I needed to transfer. And I was like, what the fuck was that?
Oh my God, is his mother a Nazi? Like, what's the connection here?
I don't know. His name was Hans, but he was Colombian.
I mean, a whole bunch of Nazis.
I know.
Ran away to them parts.
Yeah, 100%.
Hans, Boobala, you got to take a little more time before you start trying to, speak in the code to who you think might be a fellow Nazi.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's like a little bit of decorum about it.
He's trying to feel you out, and he's not very good at it. But he's an actual Nazi.
Yeah. And I'm guessing.
Like, he's continuing the lineage and looking for someone else who is also doing that. And he's just going out on dating apps and is like,
yeah, but also like Hitler, I'm sort of the type, but he's Hispanic, so that's, I mean,
somebody in his family is very much not
Oh,
his
sure.
family.
Yeah. And it doesn't make, I'm not saying it doesn't make any sense,
Somebody in
but
his family showed up
racism
in
and
Colombia about 1944. I think you should go out with him again. I think we should learn more.
hell no.
What are you doing right now?
What?
Come on.
Oh my God. Are you crazy? No,
Do
he
it.
was like,
Date a Nazi.
no, he was terrifying.
I
No
know.
way. There's no way.
Put a little camera, track him down.
Not even for that. Not happening.
You can track him down. You can maybe there's like a whole underground society of Nazis looking for their brood sow.
Excuse me? What? You just referred to me as a potential bruise sow.
That's what he's doing. So you just have to go in there
I feel
and
like that's
kind
how
of
most
pretend.
people see me.
I think you not going out with him is allowing
You
Nazis.
can impersonate me and do all that if you'd like. I'm fine.
I can just
It makes me uncomfortable.
I can just deep fake your face onto mine. Hello, Hans.
It makes me uncomfortable to be fetishized like that. I'm gonna be really honest with you.
No, it's like the Americans. You're trying to take them down. You're a spy now. Okay, fine.
I'm gonna need about 6 more Bloody Marys before you convince me to do that.
All those deaths are on your hands. All of the new deaths, starting
The
from today.
coronavirus deaths?
No, the Nazi deaths. The next Holocaust is your fault. That's
oh my God. That's a fucking terrible thing to say. Fuck you.
Well, you could.
Even more than the South thing.
You could have stopped this, and you did nothing. You were afraid of some uncomfortable conversations. Well, that's how it happened the first time.
Why don't you do it, huh? You do it then.
Because I can't sow any brood.
He won't know that until he knows that.
All right, pass
me
me the
hard
lipstick.
to get the whole time.
Pass me the lipstick. Come on.
I've got a bunch.
All right.
There you go.